that your mind is not real, that your mind is purely something that one attaches to. Your mind is something that your senses screen on your experience to life. Karma puts you into certain circumstances as part of the force of evolution. That evolutionary force that's making everything happen, making the trees where they should be, making human beings born to help this process of evolution. There's no, we have to, I mean, that's such common sense, we have to agree with that. That there's some force governing how our world created and how it's there. If we can agree on that point, then we can say, okay, so I'm put into this vehicle of a body, I'm here, and I've got 5 senses viewing life. Whatever we're viewing through those 5 senses that come in are related due to our specific karma that's coming in from, it's almost like, think of it, your senses are coming in from here, and your karma is pushing you there toward your senses. What you meet with in the middle is your opinion. Then you sit, I'm seeing this is my, and we each can sit and have a different opinion. And after this very class today, some of you will come and say, oh, that was unbelievable, I went so still, and another person comes, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm trying to see people from behind trees. I have no idea what you're talking about. You're really weird. Right? And so the same class, the same speech, the same thing, but how we relate to that, to the dream of our mind is not actually not yours. It's just something, it's an experience that you then cling on to. And as you cling on to your experiences, you then say, I feel this about that, because you have identity. And as soon as you make that commitment to what you're seeing as yours, it's called a personality, an ego. A little bit of your ego that starts to develop. Ego is not a bad thing. You've got to have an ego. If you were egoless, even if you were being egoless, you'd have an ego of being egoless. Right? So we want to be, it's very clear. We need to see all of these personalities, this is the meditation today, and to try and bring them out and how to pull yourself back together. And I always like to use this example of the black hole. The black hole is just the most amazing thing today, what scientists are showing. And I saw on Discovery Channel how the black hole, they actually showed you an object going to a black hole. I think it was a spacecraft, kind of one of their spacecraft, which what would happen to it, and it was simulated as it went into the black hole. So as it came in, it started closing into the field of the black hole. Its form started breaking up. After the form started breaking up, and it went into the black hole, time would disappear. Form and time disappeared. That means, and this is happening all the time to stars, things in our universe, they're disappearing. If we can learn that, and they call that singularity. We want to create in our being singularity. We want to learn how to pull all these different bits in together, transform beyond time, and feel what is beyond this plane. That is the goal of yoga, and it's called samadhi. So yoga, again, is not just deep breathing or putting your toe in your ear, or learning to do handstand and then go into lotus and then do chaturanga and lotus or peacock or something, right? That's called gymnastics, but it has a role and a place in yoga because it does develop tapas. So the purpose of all the asana is to develop that kind of intention, that power of intention. And it's done for one reason, not so that you can walk around afterward. And unfortunately, Bikram got a little confused. So now he wants to make power of intention like Olympics. Who can do a pose the best? It's cute, I don't mind, whatever. But that's not the goal of yoga. Your tapas is not to do the best pose ever. Your tapas is the ability to surrender beyond time, beyond form, and beyond time. So when you can have that power to sit still and let duality come into singularity, you experience yoga. That's what yoga means, to bring together, to yoke the opposites in your being. And I'd like you to understand that that state of union that you achieve in yoga, in that union, that state is the magic that starts to happen. Siddhis in yoga. Healing, inspiration, intuition. Being at the right place at the right time for your karma to work out gracefully. These are the siddhis. This is the magic that starts to happen to you if you can break down your ego and sit in that place of singularity, of timelessness. I hope I did a good job of explaining this to you. I'll try again on Saturday morning. Are there any questions you'd like to ask? Don't feel shy. It's a good topic. It's too early in the morning and it's raining. All right, I'll move on. The practice. We'll do some asana with the Saham Kriya, which I'll explain as you do it. The Kriya is a technique of purifying your consciousness with the tapas that's developed from your asana. After that, Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, alternate nostril breathing. After that, balance is the Ida and Pingala, the opposite poles of duality in your system. When you balance the prana that goes through the nostril. Number 3, divine sound will start to appear. So, the next one, this was a drum roll because on Tuesday I was sharing with you this mudra, which is to ward off any negativity and make your auric field so strong that negative impulses can come into you. So there's a mantra that goes with that. And I had surgery and I had to take this pill for, what is it for, anti-inflammatory. So I'm a little bit floating on top of my usual spaciness. It's going to last for 10 days. And so when I gave you the mantra, I said Om Kasipra, which is correct, and I said Pranayama. Om Kasipra Prasadaya is the mantra. And I was so out of it. I said, Om Kasipra Pranayama Prasad, and I keep giving you the wrong mantra. It goes like this. We're going to do this. Om Kasipra Prasadaya Namaha. Om Kasipra Prasadaya Namaha. Om Kasipra Prasadaya Namaha. Om Kasipra Prasadaya Namaha. It's a mantra and a mudra to create your auric field to be so strong that it will protect you from negative forces. Incredibly powerful mantra. I should have just chanted it because I kind of pretty good with you, because that's no mind. But when I tried with my mind, which is not the strongest mind anyway, because I kept, from a child saying it's not really mine. So when I took the anti-inflammatory on top of that, I was out of it. But chanting is always there. Om Kashipra Prasadaya Namaha. Got it? Om Kashipra, K-S-H-I-P-R-A, Prasadaya Namaha. Got it? Om Kashipra Prasadaya Namaha. I'll chant it. We'll do it in the practice and chant it together 9 times. Supposed to do 108 to really get it, but that's without the mudra usually, the chanting. If your arms, because you have neck ache or need something like that, you can even just do it with the mudra, like this. What did you tell me on Tuesday? This mudra is called roll on. Rock on, rock on, rock on. Yeah, like that. You can use rock on mudra. It's actually called Karana mudra, and it's to ward off negative energy. Right? So you can do it with the hands here, but don't start doing like whatever, how it's done. How do you do it? Rock on mudra? In America? Just like that. What? I mean, America's got some very interesting hand mudras, especially when people are angry. Especially when I'm a little spaced out driving. Yeah, they do all sorts of mudras. No, this one. Yes.
How long does this protection last? Will it last a day?
It's one for instant protection. If you do it 108 times, this is the prescription, 108 times, just the mantra, and then any time during the day, you can call on it to create that field to become strong. But that's 108 times is the prescribed amount. But if you're doing all the kriyas, and you're meditating, and you're doing the practice, 27 would be adequate with the mudra. So if you did that in the morning, 27 times after your meditation or before, if you're feeling like a little busy and too active, and you do that, then any time during the day, you just feel it once, twice, and it will create the field to declare. Okay? Yes?
How could you be focused on your meditating count 108?
You need a mala of beads. You see what Lakshmi is wearing here?
Yes.
Like this. This is called Rudraksha bead. It's a berry that grows in the Himalayas. It's a lot of India, they're very sneaky. So they make plastic ones now. And they look so real, better than the real ones. But if you put a flame near it, and they melt, it's a plastic one. It happened when I was in India. The guy said, no, it's junk, and he took it, and I was like, I just bought that, what are you doing? And the thing is, no, you need this one over here. But it's said to hold, the energy of meditation. So when you take the bead, you start, this is called the Raja bead, the royal bead. The king bead at the end, I would take it off, but it's it's pretty tight. Oh, great, thank you very much. So there you go. Well, she made a big king bead. This is fashion statement for this stuff. But no, don't worry. But say that for the king bead, and you start at the king bead like that. The bead should hang over your thumb and your ring finger like that. Because each finger represents an element, one of the elements, earth, water, fire, and space. Your middle finger pulls the bead like that. Om Kashipra Prasadaya Namaha. Om Kashipra Prasadaya Namaha. Om Kashipra Prasadaya Namaha. Now we'll have to make a little change for you. If you need to use it with this to get the count, and your hands are like this, I don't know. I think one hand like this, one hand like that, and you can just count like that. Om Kashipra Prasadaya Namaha. Om Kashipra Prasadaya Namaha. Om Kashipra Prasadaya Namaha. Thanks, Christine. Any other questions? So, in the meditation, after we've created this field to become clear, the electromagnetic field around our body is clear. Then we're going to go, put the hands over the knee, moisten the point between the eyebrow, take some saliva and moisten here. Feel where the point is and try and go inside into the midbrain, ajna. Feel as your consciousness seats in ajna, that you feel like you're coming into like a lush green meadow. And as you sit in this lush green kind of lawn, Almost, it's a nice visual is like on a golf course how they have the putting green. Always nice, clean, perfect. As if you're on a lawn like that around. And around the brain that surrounds that midbrain ajna, you feel like you're in the lawn and the brain is like a forest around you of trees. You're going to, at that point, I'm going to ask you to use your own name as a mantra. Chant your own name and call out from behind each tree a different personality that you use every day in life. Al as Yogiraj. Al as, I don't know, fed up. Al as happy. Al on his scooter. Al being a little bit conscious of money. Al being free of money. Al being whatever. Put all of these different things in that you're pulling them out from the front to the right around your entire brain back into the center. I'll give you a minute or two to do that and I'll try and help you. At that point you're going to chant Aum to bring yourself into singularity. All of these, you're going to visualize all of these personalities that you've become attached to in life, that you've clung on to. They're around you and they're out behind the trees. In the ah, pull them in, and then the oo and the m. Feel them come in and just sort of stabilize on the outside of the green. 3 times. The next one, they come onto the green around you and stabilize. And on the 3rd one, ah, pull them into your core, oo, feel the pillar of light in the center of your being as you come back to singularity, and timeless. And then sit for 18 minutes in that timelessness. That is the meditation today. Extremely powerful. I really ask you one thing, give it a chance to work. Use your tapas that you've developed in asana and really surrender. Let yourself see the personalities. Really see yourself and see these different masks, pull them in, pull them to oneness, 18 minutes of just being. Then we'll ground you with the mantras to bring the energy back and re-enter it into your system in the correct manner. Come on to all fours, please. We better get started. Kneeling on all four.
That'd be great.
I'd like you to start with the asana practice. We're going to start with cat-cow, and to do it, please, 4 to 6 times. And on the inhalation, feel from the top of the head to the root, to the base of the spine. Feel the sa mantra, the energy moving down. On the exhalation, draw your lower abdomen in and feel hum, the distribution of energy. The khanda is right in front of the lower abdomen, and the nadis move from there, mapping your entire being, 73,000 nadis. On the inhalation, you bring energy in down to it, and on the exhalation, you distribute the energy. Your lower abdomen draws in, and you feel it in your joints where the nadis intersect. Your joints become spacious. Inhale from top of head to root. Exhale, lower abdomen in, and feel the joints spacious. Sa is the sound of the breath as you breathe in, and hum is the sound of the breath as you exhale, when you're active. So just take the time, try and start to feel this. If any tension or tightness becomes apparent because you're starting to go in, release it. Do whatever you like to release it, and then back in again. Cat seal. Inhale, up cat, and exhale. Seal is another word in the Kriya Yoga, same as child's pose. Exhale, sit back on your heel. Inhale, up cat. Sa. And exhale, seal, hum, sitting back on your heel. Inhale, sa, and exhale, hum. Distribution, joint, spacious. Really try and feel that. I know it's hard at first, but it's very subtle. But as you keep practicing this week after week with me, you're going to actually start to find those passages that map your being. The next little vinyasa. Inhale, Bali, kneeling up. And exhale, seal, lower down, head to the floor in front of you. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, seal. So it's 4 movements, but I want you to try, once you've figured out the movements, really try to sense sa going down, hum distribution, joints becoming spacious. Inhale, sa, energy moves, top of the head to root. Exhale, hum, joints become spacious. Through the 4 movements. Try and sense this. The next thing to practice is one static pose, downward facing dog, or if you can, Shivasana, headstand, very powerful, as pre-meditative. So, when you're in the posture of your choice, only headstand if you know it and you're accustomed to it, by all means do it. But it's not a time here to learn these things. So when you're upside down, or in down dog, which is kind of upside down, I want you to sense the same thing of sa and hum. From top of the head, but you're upside down to the root between genital anus. On the exhale, feel the distribution of energy, your joints becoming spacious. There is an extra movement in headstand. You can either do it in Padmanasana, in lotus, or you can do just with the legs straight, Urdhva Dandasana, in movement. You lower the legs down, feeling hum, and you lift the legs up, feeling sa. Sa, from top of the head to base, legs lift. Exhale, legs lower, hum distribution. And then the last part, when we come down, either from down dog or from headstand, in whichever way, if you can come from double lotus to sit on the floor and then sit up, rolling up, that is the most extreme way of feeling this sort of contradiction of the energy, this opposite of the energy, and energy moves from the base to the ground. Sit back onto the heel, everyone, come down, slowly at your time. Sit on the heel, keep your eyes closed, and I want you to sense how the blood and gravity draws down after inversion. But I want you to feel how the central cord, because you keep coming to it, and if you can keep your consciousness in it, how that central cord from the root between genital anus into ajna, midbrain, holds you up tall. That central cord is called Brahmanadi. Brahmanadi is the cord you are born from. It's the nodal cord in the embryo. You can't see it anymore when the cells migrate from the embryo to fetus. Feel that cord. It's subtle. I have to constantly get you to feel this. Remind you. Staying in that cord, I'd like you to all come and sit cross-legged this morning. Sit over your heels, sit cross-legged, whichever version you can that's comfortable. Put your fingers on the floor behind you and just pivot forward from the sit bone. Don't round your spine. I want you to feel sa hum, 2 breaths. Then bring your hands out in front of you, fingertip on the floor, and still feel the sa and hum. The whole of these practices is not about the asana here, but this is a Kriya class. So I want you to feel from the top of the head to the middle of the pelvic floor, sa goes down. To feel when you exhale, lower abdomen in, and try and sense what happens to the joints in your body. There are 133 of these joints, which are the sub-chakras in your being, your joints. So you learn in asana how to try and keep the muscles working correctly in every different pose to make the joint spacious, never to collapse in the joint. Here I want you to feel it from the subtle body to the physical. Come walk your hands back up again, keep your fingers on the floor in front of you, wrist kind of against the knee. Inhale, bring your left hand up in the air. Exhale, lower to the floor behind you. But keep the other wrist, the front one, sort of levering against the knee and shin area. And then just slowly twist, feeling saham. As you inhale in a twist, feel your ribs expand and the lengthening from top of the head to the root. As you exhale, feel your chest close and the abdomen in, and you deepen in the pose, and the joints become spacious. Sa, hum. Come forward to the center, bring your fingertip on the floor in the center, do the other side. Inhale up, and exhale down, bring the hand down, and get that leg. One hand in front by the knee, other behind. Inhale, sa, which lengthens your whole body from the subtle energy. And exhale, feel the rotation, the hum. And when you can learn to feel this in your asana, you're doing your asana from the subtle body. Perfect. Come slowly back to the center. Place your left hand on the floor. Bring your right arm up in the air and stretch. Feel the stretch from your fingertip to your sit bone. Sa and hum. From the top of the head down the energy. Adjust the posture so you can feel that. And hum, feel the distribution. Joints becoming spacious. Obvious joints, wrist, elbow, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle. Then fingers all in the hands, all the knuckles, toes. Then in between each vertebra. And ultimately skull plates, the fissure between the skull plates. Try and even feel them become spacious. Come back up please and do the other side. Fingers on the floor, other arm up in the air, stretch from fingertip to sit bone, but keep feeling the sa and hum. Very, very important here. Look for the subtle energy. It's hard. The subtle energy is much harder to feel because it's subtle. You're trying to tune to electromagnetic fields that govern you, that create you, govern you, and govern how you are going to exist in life. So really try and get to this level of awareness in your body. Come back up again, please. Prepare yourself for pranayama and the meditation. I'd like you to sit, get comfortable. If you're not accustomed to sitting, please sit on the bolster, put some blocks under your knees. You're going to be sitting for at least 40 minutes. If your back gets tired, rather sit by the wall, prop yourself up so you're comfortable, and prepare yourself to be able to be comfortable for the process of meditation. And I really don't mind whatever style of sitting you need. Yeah, injury, something, use a chair. You don't want your body here getting in your way. Bring your hands into Anjali, prayer pose. Bow the head slightly. And just to yourself, as you do this, say, okay, I'm going to try, I'll give it a go, I'll flow with what else says, and see if I can, what happens to my consciousness. Just let yourself go into it. Lower your left hand over your left knee, bring the right hand up to the nostril. Nadi Shavana Pranayama. Alternate the flow of air through the nostril. Breathe in the side that is more dominant, otherwise just the left if you can feel that. Hold block both. And when you need to breathe out through the opposite side. You put the left, out the right. Breathe in the side you breathe out of. Hold block both. And when you need to breathe out through the opposite. So on and so forth. But now add into this mixture. When you breathe in, mind breathes, count how many counts are comfortable for you as you breathe in. Hold the breath up to 4 times as long as you breathe in. And breathe out twice as long as you breathe in. So the count, whatever you breathe in, if it's for 5, you'll try and hold up to 20. You slowly stretch it. And you're going to breathe out the opposite nostril for 10. You're going to stretch towards it. You might not reach to an end there, but you're stretching your breath slowly to that count. The Nadi Shodhana, the alternating of the flow of air, plus the ratio, 1:4:2, will bring your consciousness back in. It will create your energy to move inward, called Pratyahara. Pratyahara, you all know, you do it when you go to sleep. Your senses come in. You let go and your senses come in. And you even stop hearing the outside world when you fall asleep and feeling it. This is what this pranayama needs to create. So you'll do 6 breaths of this pranayama together. Now, when you do finish the 6 breaths, and it's all our breaths are different, so when you're finished, I'd like you to just slowly lower the hand down, but keep your eyes closed when you finish. And kind of sense what has happened to your consciousness. You'll feel the skin from the top of the head, down your face, scalp, neck, shoulders, and arms begins to let go. And then the whole body after that, the skin goes soft. Your biggest awareness in Pratyahara is how the skin stops sensing. And your energy comes back to Sushumna Nadi, brain and spine. And once your energy has come in like that, now we are ready to move to the next thing. I'd like you to moisten the point. Sorry, first of all, take your hands into Karana Mudra. going to clear the auric field. We're going to use the mantra Om Kshipra Prasadaya Namaha 9 times. Chant with me, but feel like you're clearing from your core right out into the energetic field around you, making it like a shining aura. Take a breath in. Om Kshipra Prasadaya Namaha. 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 Lower your hands over your knees in Jnana Mudra. And the sense from your core and your heart, the auric field radiated, no longer inhibited, into a field around your body, about 3 feet. Give it a chant, try and sense it. Take some saliva onto your finger and your thumb and moisten the point from between your eyebrow to 1 inch up. Lower your hand down and just feel. That you come in to the center where the hypothalamus is in the middle of the brain. It's your command center. The consciousness gets commanded and directed, routed. In that center, feel like you're sitting on a little lush green lawn. Now this is just an imagery to help you get a certain kind of feeling going. So you just sort of, in whatever way you can feel that. If it's hard for you to visualize that, you can try and visualize like just the area all around you, a safe space in the middle of your brain, separate to the jungle, that separates you from the jungle, like a clearing. Just sitting in the middle. However you can get that to be real for you, do it. I'd like you to start to call your own name. Let it resonate from the middle of the brain in that clear space. And now, as you're calling your own name, feel that you're calling out from behind each tree one of these personalities that you have clinged to. And all your emotions are one of the personalities that you have clung to. And slowly go around the brain, calling them out. One of happiness, one of sadness, one of being spiritual, one of being material, one of being honest, one of being more stealing. Just start to see all of these different mats. One of laughing, one of crying, one of being emotionally upset, one of being emotionally free. Just start to see it, one of always being right, that kind of energy. And another of insecurity, not sure. See all these different mats, begin to call them out. Clockwise from the front to the right, to the back, to the left, to the front. Having finished this circle, I'd like you to now chant the Aum mantra, drawing these different personalities into you. Feel that you do the Aum. You first bring them out from the forest to surround on the green. Take a breath in. Feel like you're pulling these different personalities in, like the black hole draws in matter to transform it. Take a breath in. From surrounding the green, bring them into the middle of the green. Full breath in. The last one, you're going to bring them in and feel the different personalities breaking down, form, and then time. But don't feel nervous about this. Feel you breaking them down to become this empowered being in the center where all knowledge exists at once. Take a deep breath in and then re-moisten ajna one more time. Saliva on your thumb, moisten the point, and really feel yourself to go in the middle there. and that you break down beyond the form goes, the time goes. And when they are gone, there's no more identity, reason, or expression. That's what makes up mind laden. You want to transcend. So by moistening ajna and allowing your consciousness just to come there, feel like it regroups in there, transcending time and form. As you do that, you'll see Jyoti, like a glow of light, optical radiance, with eyes. I want you to feel how that's a change of consciousness, how that develops. And as the consciousness exchanges, it's a glow of light. Form disappears. And the next, when time disappears, you'll feel between the lobes of the brain, where the white matter is, forms velocity. In Tantra, that is called the Harakasha value. Feel the next thing as time goes, the lobes of the brain relax. And through that point, right where the white matter is, you move into the space between your brain and the top of the head. And as you move through into that space, see how you transcend beyond time. Form goes light, time goes sound. The echoey sound at once. Of all things at once. Like a black hole, you're transformed, transcended into that state of your samadhi. Just kind of float in that incredible pulse at once, that intelligence that's beyond time and form. Stay in that state of samadhi. 18 minutes. I'm going to be quiet now. If your mind wanders, 3 more samadhi. I will come round and do the Shakti path, see the teacher. And if you don't want us to do this, just to draw consciousness to your crown and create to help you, like magnetically, get to that state. If you don't want us to do it for any reason, please raise your hand now so we can see who doesn't, and we'll bypass. Don't want us to do the Shakti. Relax. Or Sanajna. Light. Sound of stillness. Once. the process of samyama to bring the energy back into you correctly. Let the tip of the tongue gently move to the roof of the mouth, and very slightly and lightly move your thumbs over your fingertips, just sensing the prana jumping between the two. Electricity. Move the tip of the tongue behind the upper teeth to the gum, and bring your palms half an inch apart. And just sense the heat. Tejas. Open your hands a little wider and feel the heat sort of change from heat to like a glow, radiance. And then open and close the hands, sort of bring them in and out of it, and just feel the magnetism, the puffy feeling between them. All parts of Tejas. Bring your palms up over your eyes and let the prana and tejas pour into your eyes, into your brain. Healing. Bring your palms together and chanting the mantra Om Namah Shivaya. Welcome back the Shiva, the all-intelligence of the universe back into you. 4 times. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Palms over the eyes, drag the energy down the face, under the jawline, into the back of the neck, and just massage it out a couple of times. Bring your hands around, bring the energy into the throat, front, activating Saraswati energy for wisdom, inspiration. Bring the hands down over your thymus gland and feel warmth in that area. Ramaya, healing. Bring your hands into the center of your chest and just feel warmth and loving for no reason at all. Bring your palms into the center. In Anjali, prayer pose. And just direct that loving feeling to all beings. Om Namo Narayana. Om Dhan. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Take your right palm on top of your left and clamp the fingers. Bring the heel of the hand into the navel. And so, to distribute the intelligence and revitalize your cellular information. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Press your fingertip onto your pubic bone, thumbs tip at the top, Yoni Mudra, to bring abundance into your life and all beings that you come in contact with. Om Lakshmi Vam Shri Kamalararam Swaha. Read that.
Om Lakshmi Vam Shri Kamalararam Swaha. Om Lakshmi Vam Shri Kamalararam Swaha. Om Lakshmi Vam Shri Kamalararam Swaha.
Finally, press the thumbs into the tendon between leg and torso. Elbows a little back so the heart center is open. To remove any obstacles that karma brings into your dharma, your living. Om Gam 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 Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam 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 Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam 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 Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam 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 Ganapataye Namaha.
Massage the energy from hip to knee, down your thigh. Circulate the energy in your knees. Draw it down your shin bone, back and forth. In between your calf, press every inch down into Achilles tendon, your ankle. And then just grab your ankles nice and tight and kind of hold them. Feel that you get the energy back there. From your heel to your toe, roll the energy down. You might have to press point by point if you're barefoot, it doesn't slide as well, whatever. Or rotate all the energy, get it down to each toe. Very nice. Look like just in their palms, milky. Stretch your legs out slowly. Move little toe side of the foot forward, big toe having sat so long. Point your toe, flex it. Bounce your knees out a little. Lie down for a minute, knees onto your back. Shavasana, just to let your body adjust. Position the flesh of the butt to support your hip. Position your shoulder blade to support your chest cavity. Let your arm just drop out to the side and feel your head just find the balance. By doing that, you'll find this balance in your body. Your body just feels balanced on the earth. And that alone in Shavasana just lets everything find its equilibrium, its balance. Bringing you back to peace, Shanti. Peace from yourself, peace from others, and peace with the universal forces. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Wriggle your toes a little, rub your thumbs over your fingertip. Bend your knees and put your fingers around your shin bone. Roll your back a little bit out side to side. Rock back to sit back up tall. You might have noticed. I didn't realize I spoke so much. They're waiting outside the door signaling. Put the hand over your fist and just ease yourself forward to root the energy back to Kanda. You just lean a little, feel the energy there. Sit back up onto your sit bone. Feel your heart open, but feel the energy down there. If you feel ungrounded, push, get it back. Bring your hands into Anjali, bow the head, and allow this unbound intelligence. It is the all knowledge of the universe to flood through you and to inspire every moment of your living. Hari Om, Om Tat Sat. Have a super wonderful day, spreading this life and love into each moment. Namaste.
Namaste.
Practice daily. Try and keep the mind 3 minutes still every day. Have a super week. See you Saturday. Thank you. Thank you.